Most people think after midnight is just late, but doctors, police, anthropologists, and emergency responders all know something different. Midnight is a turning point. It's when the body is weakest, when crime spikes, when ancient cultures held their most intense rituals, and when some of the most unexplained real-world events still take place. These are top 10 disturbing events that only happen after midnight. It started with circles of melted candles discovered long after everyone had gone home. In the 1970s and 80s, Cook County Police reportedly responded to late-night reports from Waldheim Woods, a forest on the edge of Chicago. Residents heard chanting after midnight. Deputies often arrived to find recently burned black candles, animal bones arranged in patterns, and symbols carved into trees. Footprints suggested large groups had gathered, but whoever performed the rites always fled seconds before officers reached the clearing. County records confirm this activity occurred only after midnight. Daytime patrols never found anything. Whether it was an occult group or people hiding other illegal activity behind ritual symbolism, the evidence was real, and midnight was the only hour they operated. Doctors say the human body is most likely to fail between 12 and 4 a.m. Studies published by the Journal of General Internal Medicine revealed a clear trend. Stable patients are far more likely to experience sudden cardiac or respiratory collapse after midnight compared to any other time of day. In one well-documented case in Boston, a patient recovering from routine surgery was alert and talking before midnight, and at 12:03 a.m., all vital signs dropped instantly with no medical cause found. Researchers suggest hormone fluctuations or oxygen changes during deep sleep may play a role, but no explanation fits all cases. Medical staff simply know this: the most unpredictable emergencies strike after midnight. Investigators say the hardest cases to solve begin when the rest of the world is asleep. National Crime Information Center data shows a disproportionate number of disappearances begin between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. These cases are difficult because there are no witnesses and very little traffic. The disappearance of Mark Kilroy in Mexico began shortly after midnight during spring break. In Vermont, a college student left her dorm at 12:10 a.m. and vanished within minutes. No footage, no signs of a struggle. And in Columbus, Ohio, Brian Schaefer was filmed entering a bar, but was never filmed leaving. His last confirmed sighting was at 1:55 a.m. Criminal behavior specialists say the early morning hours give offenders a major advantage. Silence, darkness, empty streets. It is the hardest window for investigators to reconstruct. Archaeologists discovered that several ancient cultures reserved their most intense ceremonies for after midnight. Excavations at sites from Peru to Mesopotamia show that nighttime rites were common and deliberate. At Chavin de Hontar, underground passages were designed to disorient participants during nocturnal ceremonies. Evidence includes torches, offering chambers, and ritual tools found deep within the tunnels. In Greece, the Orphic rites took place strictly between midnight and sunrise. Participants consumed mixtures meant to induce visions, believed to bridge the human world and the underworld. These findings are supported by carvings, artifacts, and surviving texts. Midnight was not symbolic. It was essential to the ritual structure. Ancient people believed the boundary between worlds weakened only after dark, and archaeological evidence supports that belief was taken seriously. Police departments know the most unpredictable calls arrive right after midnight. FBI and local police data across major North American cities show the same pattern. Violent incidents rise significantly between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. This includes home invasions, stabbings, assaults, and break-ins. In Phoenix, a 12:43 a.m. home invasion was only solved because a single neighbor happened to be awake. Most midnight crimes go entirely unwitnessed. Criminologists attribute the spike to sleep deprivation, alcohol-related behavior, fewer active patrols, victims being asleep and unaware, and the hours after midnight create ideal conditions for offenders. Daylight removes those advantages. Midnight gives them full control of the environment. One of the most documented occult crime investigations in history revealed rituals that always took place after midnight. In 1989, Mexican police uncovered a cult led by Adolfo Constanzo, who blended illicit substance trafficking with ritual beliefs. Survivors and witnesses testified that he performed ceremonies only during late-night hours on a remote ranch near Matamoros. When authorities raided the site, they found ritual cauldrons, altars stained with blood, animal remains, and personal belongings from victims taken for occult purposes. The remains of American student Mark Kilroy were also found there. His disappearance began after midnight. Constanzo insisted his rituals required darkness and silence. Investigators later confirmed that every documented ceremony began between 12 and 3 a.m. Sleep experts discovered the most terrifying cases happen between 1 and 3 a.m. Sleep paralysis occurs when the brain wakes up while the body is still frozen in REM sleep. The result is complete immobility paired with full awareness, and for reasons not fully understood, most episodes strike shortly after midnight. Victims report things like pressure on the chest, presence in the room, whispering or footsteps, sensations of being watched, and these symptoms are documented across cultures and different time periods. Researchers at the University of Waterloo monitored patients during sleep paralysis episodes. One participant consistently woke around 2 a.m. with extreme stress responses while reporting a shadowy figure in the room. The figure was not real, but the neurological event was. Anthropologists found that cultures from Japan to Scandinavia associated these episodes with spirits visiting at night. Science does not confirm that idea, but the timing remains consistent worldwide. The paralysis almost never happens during daytime naps. It waits for midnight. Security guards say the strangest human behavior is almost always recorded after midnight. This is not paranormal, it is documented human activity that becomes far more unpredictable late at night. In 2016, a Cincinnati plant captured footage of a barefoot woman wandering through a loading dock at 12:18 a.m. She was sleepwalking. Police found her hours later, confused and unaware of the danger she was in. In Miami, cameras filmed a man on a high-rise rooftop at 1:04 a.m., calmly walking along the edge. He had accessed the area while half asleep and had no memory of doing it. Night security logs show more confused wanderers, people entering restricted areas, individuals pacing for hours, sleepwalkers climbing dangerous structures. Sleepwalking peaked during the early morning hours, combined with mental health episodes and limited supervision. Midnight turns normally controlled environments into unpredictable ones. Across the world, unexplained booms rock communities long after everyone has gone to bed. Skyquakes are real. They have been recorded for centuries and documented by police, meteorologists, and seismologists. They sound like explosions that shake windows and vibrate the ground, yet leave no damage and no trace. Some examples are Cape Fear, North Carolina. A thunder-like boom at 12:32 a.m. shook homes. There was no flights or seismic activity. In Bangalore, India, at 12:15 a.m., a loud boom prompted hundreds of emergency calls. The Air Force confirmed no aircraft were airborne. In New Jersey, late-night coastal booms have been reported for years. Researchers propose atmospheric pressure changes, small offshore quakes, or distant sonic events. But none of these explain why these booms tend to happen only after midnight. When the world is quiet, the unexplained becomes noticeable. Long-haul drivers say the most disturbing events on the road happen when the clock hits 12. Federal transportation data confirms that fatal highway incidents spike between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. Even though traffic is lowest, truckers tend to report sudden hallucinations caused by extreme fatigue, pedestrians wandering on empty highways, abandoned vehicles with open doors, animals appearing unexpectedly, and drivers operating without headlights. A 2019 Texas case involved a trucker swerving at 1:47 a.m. to avoid a figure standing in the road. Police found nothing. The driver was sober and passed every test. The event was attributed to sleep deprivation distortion, which peaks after midnight. Another case in Nevada involved a running car found at 2:12 a.m. with the driver door open. The driver was missing, and the disappearance remains unsolved. Truckers say the roads after midnight feel like a different world. The danger is not the darkness, it is how human perception changes inside of it. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Lydia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.